Hello, hello, hello. We're just posting the links for the live stream and then we will go and actually do our stuff. My name is Katie. This is the Atelier Nekozuki live stream or Chaos Creation, whatever you want to call it. Working on small box bag zippers today. I did do my run today. I have procrastinated hard on the run today. So that's why I'm a little bit later. Sorry. It's just one of those days. But I appreciate everyone who can join me whenever and wherever they can. Twitch.tv/Atelier Nekozuki. Twitch. Twith. Missed my C. There we go. Yay, we're here. All I want to do is like play my mobile games and listen to my audiobook. I'm nearly done the Alice Complex, but there's still almost 4 hours left, and I am not 100% sure how that's even going to work. It's like, what? All right, sure. Anyway, okay, so today we are working on the zippity zips for the small box bags. Yesterday we got half of them installed, so today we're going to try and get the other half installed. I'm going to ignore my hair, like, actually it's doing pretty good considering that this got done at like the end of May. It's very thin. That's one thing I don't like about it right now. Anyway, so we've got the full bin right here. That's ready to go basically. And now what we're going to do is we're going to double check that everything is installed correctly. Basically just check and make sure that like the zipper has been caught. And then we take it and we flip it like this and we align the exterior fabric where we want it to go. I am looking at this, that we probably need to go zoom out a little bit here. That looks better. The program for Twitch always freaks the fuck out when I change the like zoom on the camera. It's very annoying. Okay. Like, just chill. Anyway, so line it up like this. I guess turning the machine on might actually be helpful. Not at all, right? And I am going to pop these in the bin before we knock anything off. That we do need. This can go in here. Actually, that's where all of those seam rippers should go for now because I'm not using them right now. I did message Tara today. I'm like, sure, I don't actually have any work for you this weekend. You can still come visit if you want, but like it'd be a working visit. And she's like, no, I gotta do my like errands because she's got a bunch of work stuff too that's like suddenly come onto her plate. And I'm like, I 100% understand. So we are actually going to get an extra work day next week because Dallason's up with some extra time for like future plans for his like plant and stuff like that. So he's actually going to go to work on the Monday. He's normally home, but that actually works out in our favor right now. And I checked in with school and I'm like, hey, can the kids come? And they're like, they have a space no matter if they're here or not. I'm like, yay, thank you. So they get to go. They're going to love that. Sarcasm. Yeah, the eldest doesn't have like a day. They have before and after care for kindergarten. They don't have like a day on Tuesday, Thursday, but they both have space like the full Monday, Wednesday, Friday, even when we don't use it. Like, do you want me to like message you on the days they're not going to be in, just so it's like if you are like going to, you can open up those spaces if you need. So I'm just waiting to hear back about that. Somehow there's like a crap ton of gunk coming out of my fingers. Gross. Okay, there, better. Anyway, today was interval training. It's done. That's the most I can say about it. It's done. It's good. The interval training is like actually what I need to be doing. It's speed work. So like I got a decent base right now. Basically the interval training is the speed work so that you can get faster without it like killing you basically, or feeling like death at least. Partly that's the practice, partly it's just heart rate training. So my intervals are looking like they couldn't have looked better, to be honest. So I'm quite pleased with that. Yeah, no, I'm quite happy with how it went. Definitely procrastinated on it way too long, but oh well. I got it done. It was supposed to be done yesterday, but it was smoky and I wanted to be able to do them outside. It was really cold this morning. So cold this morning. Until about 9:30, 9:40. Well, about 10 actually. That's when I got out for the actual running. I totally sat down by the river and drank my coffee and played mobile games this morning instead. I don't know if that was a good decision or not. I have made worse. And I'm kind of hoping that we have to go down to Bragg Creek tonight to do a delivery to a customer. This has been a whole thing. Oh god. Everything, whatever. Not a big deal. But we'll go down and the kids can play on the playground for a little bit right after school. And I'm going to bring their PJs, and before we come home, I'm going to change them into their PJs and hope that they fall asleep on the way home, and then I can like just come home and transfer them. That is the hope for today. And then I will come downstairs because like it's tough once I've done their bedtime to not just go to bed. The other factor in this is that actually that's a good point. What time is gymnastics tomorrow? Is that we don't have to be out anywhere stupid early tomorrow morning. We have to be out. Why am I all the way in February? Good God. Today, please. Yeah, we don't have to be out, or we don't have to be down to the gymnastics until 11 a.m. So that's nice, because both the kids are like, we're tired. I'm like, yeah, this is a lot for her. Like, they've been practicing this all summer with summer camp, but normally they're at, like, in some ways, normally their hours drop in the fall rather than increasing. Whereas this year, it's, like, increased. So they're both like, what the fuck is going on? We just want to have chill time. I totally filled up my run last night. I was going to go do my base run, and the youngest was just, they were toast. So I got like a mile done, which is okay, whatever. Better than nothing. I was also just exhausted yesterday. So I don't know if I actually would have been able to get the run done in general. But yeah, the youngest decided that for me anyway. Sometimes it's fine going after school, and then other times it's just like, nah. So yesterday was a nyeh day, and I could have come home and I could have finished on the treadmill. I did not. I was just like, no. And then I went to bed after I got them into bed last night. So, which was a good decision. I am thinking we need to shift our morning alarm to like 5 though, which sucks. I am not a morning person. I hate getting up in the morning. Actually, that's one of the big things that I did notice a shift in. So I started new diabetic medication. I did go on Ozempic, semaglutide, for my diabetes. It has been, for me, pretty good. A little bit of nausea and stuff like that, but like all manageable. And it's kept my like glycemic control so good. And one of the big things I noticed is that it's like I still don't like getting up in the mornings, But once I'm up, I'm not dragging as hard as I did on just the oral medications like the glycoside, which is such a weird thing to notice. But like, even I mentioned it to Dallas and he's like, yes. Because I used to be so cranky in the mornings. And now I'm like, I'm not happy, but I'm not ready to murder everyone in like for the first 2 hours that I'm awake either. Morning rage. Now I have definitely traded some of that time on in the evenings. That could also just be the stage we're in with the kids and stuff like that too. But yeah, like it's nice to be honest. But we can have a little bit better of a sleep tomorrow, or like more of a sleep in tomorrow, and then we have to be up super early for Sunday because we have the race in Canmore, and I'm gonna try and crush my 5K time from earlier this year. So I got a post-baby or postpartum PB in April, and it's like, an all-time PB. So I beat my previous pre-baby PB. That's what it was. So I was super happy with that. I also broke the average 5K time for women, which is 35 minutes. And I'm hoping this weekend that I can get between, so I think I was 34.50, 34.50. So I had like 34.49 or under. I'm hoping for 32. That's like the end goal time, like 32 to 34 minutes. Canmore is an extremely flat course. There's not a lot of elevation change. The one that I ran in April had a bunch of undulating hills and like this nefarious climb right towards the end that was like, it wasn't insane, but it was constant. So it was just like this like very gentle grade up for like a kilometer. It's just like, oh God. So Canmore has like one hill. So I'm excited about that. We'll see what happens. There should be improvements since April, and the course should help the improvements as well. I'll take it. Anyway, that's what we're going to be up to. And then they're back to school on Monday, and I have a recovery run on Monday, which is a 3-kilometer walk. Oh no, the horrors. So we'll go do that. And then I will be on to do whatever we've got set up after this weekend. I am hoping that we are done all the zippers for small box and tote bags. I would love to be at the cutting point for mini traveler slings by the end of next week, is where I would love to be. So we'll see. Given how long it took us to actually sew zippers in yesterday, I don't think that these are going to take anywhere near as long. I could be delusional too, who knows? But we're already through the off-white zippers, so that's pretty good. And granted, though, the off-white and the red zippers were definitely some of the smallest zipper piles. So, you know, who knows? We'll get there. It'll all come together. Like 4.5 hours from the end of the Atlas complex, so really damn close to the end. Like, come on. But I don't know what they're going to do for the last 4 hours because it feels like they're at the climax right now. I wonder if there's like some sort of like reader's guide at the end or something, and that's what is going to take up the majority of the time. Or if they're like going to hit what is the author is pretending is the end goal, when actually it ends up being not the end goal. I don't know. I guess we'll find out pretty rapidly, probably. It feel like that's the thing. It feels like it's all coming to a head right now, so I don't know why there's still 4 hours. That's where I'm at with it. Shield of Sparrows got an announcement for the second book in its series. I don't know if there's more after that or not. Feels like it could go duology. Feels like it could go trilogy. So that's cool. I've finished our book club books. As mentioned, next month is Bride by Allie Hazelwood, but I'm going to bring that to read in Vancouver for post-Knit City, like bed rot. especially on the Sunday night. Although I guess I gotta be careful because Ali Hazelwood does tend to suck me in, and I don't want to like stay up ridiculously late. So we do want these interiors a little bit smaller than the exteriors, but not like insanely smaller. So just small adjustments on the exterior fabrics to make sure that they kind of align a little bit better. Remember how many there were. Well, there's about 100 small box bags, so we're probably about 10% in already, 10 to 15%, which means 10 to 15 bags done. Flynn and Dahlia are here to quality control inspect, just as a heads up. Flynn's like right here. He's like, why are you touching me, lady? Dahlia's in her tree where I've set up her heating pad and blanket again. I'm trying not to spill my coffee. If you're like, that feels like a dangerous place for your coffee, yes, yes it is. Why ever would you mention it? But if I have it on the other side, Flynn is just as likely to knock it off onto the katos. So we're just surrounded by whips right now, just so you know. As per usual, whips everywhere, so. Actually, I am going to pack up the kato for tonight, because if they're playing on the playground, I can definitely do some clipping while they're playing. And we're waiting for our meetup. And even if, like, just even around that point, we're both like, can we go for, or she's like, the eldest is asking if we can go for ice cream afterwards. I'm like, maybe, maybe not. We're going to go for ice cream for sure in Canmore. Actually, I should double check that they're still open. There's Scoop and Moose out in Canmore, and they have Island Farms, which is out of Victoria. My favorite ice cream. So I told them that we would definitely go for ice cream after the race on Sunday. I like how it's like, I totally should be checking, like, QCing the zippers on this one side, and I'm just folding them in blithely. We might just go with that anyway. I typically catch it in top stitching, so if there's anything egregious, we're going to see it. And it's definitely, it's cooled down. It was like hot, 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 and now I think it's supposed to be mostly cool for the rest of the week, which is insane. This morning, like, it was super foggy and like solidly single digits when I dropped the kids off at school, like 3-4 degrees, sort of single digits. Had a very crisp fall nip today. So we're definitely into, is it what, like meteorological fall? Even though the equinox is like on the 20th or whatever. Is it the 20th or the 21st this year? I can't remember. I don't keep track very well. Unless it's summer solstice, which, because that can be close to my birthday. And I like summer but the best. It's gonna be nice to be back in Vancouver though, because they'll have like the nice trees and stuff at the point that we actually end up getting there, which will be cool. Feels weird to not have been, like, it was really nice to have Knit City in Calgary last year. I'm super excited for it to come back this year. But it's also like, it's really weird to not have Knit City, or not to have been to Vancouver last year. It's like, what? What do you mean? It's been 2 years since I've been there. Like, we've been out to Victoria the last couple of years, but like, that's different too. Two very different, like, cityscapes. This is what I meant though by saying that we were definitely like this side of the zipper is definitely, the second side of the zipper is definitely faster than the first side of the zipper, so. And this chain piecing is working freaking amazing. And I know how to chain piece the top stitching, especially with these ones that don't have their zip pulls on yet. I guess the only one thing that will, yeah, so that one needs this side installed. So I will put a pile here of ones that need some TLC on the first side. Because we can run them at the end, that's not a big deal. Anyway, yeah, I guess there'll be a little bit of extra added time adding the zip pull in, but that can happen after top stitching. Just before we do the boxing of the edges. Cut, yeah. Okay, this one I do try to at least get the like horizontal stripes as close as fucking possible. It's not always perfect, but there just know there is an attempt made. I think that's probably going to be pretty close because I don't think the fabric stretched a lot, so that's good. And the pile, she piles. Okay, well, all figured. He's like, how many are left? Doesn't matter, Katie, just so. Just so. Just so. Who cares? Just so. How long have we been on? 34 minutes. And we're probably already about a third of the way in, so another hour worth of zippers-ish. So I anticipate being done small bag, box bag zippers today. And then since we're in zippers anyway, we'll do the tote bag zippers as well. Me as well sort of thing, right? So next time I change the bobbin, I need to change the needle. Which probably just jinxed me that the bobbin's gonna run out on this bag, but you know. You know. That's how it goes. La 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 la. Dun 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 dun. like been paranoid about that since we dropped a couple times. Although it hasn't dropped since I started double streaming. Although this one is like encoding or something like that has happened. The one stream into Twitch is like freaking out right now. Yay! Does anyone know with like those, like basically the window saran wrap, like the plastic wrap you can put on your windows in the wintertime, do they go on the, like, will I be able to open and close my blinds? Because the blinds are set into the window frame. Do they go over on the trim, or can I put them like on the window casing essentially? Because I think that's going to help a lot with the whole keeping the basement warmer this year, and I'm going to do it. But I don't want to have, like, I want to be able to open and close my blinds too. I don't want to be stuck with blinds being closed all winter. I know this is a question that I can ask Google, but it's something that pops into my head while I'm streaming. Yeah, so yeah, let's say fuck it and just look it up. My phone's like, you've used a lot of battery today. Yes, yes I have. Okay. Because it's like a shrink. Yeah, window insulator kit. No, go back. How to install. First clean and measure the window, then apply the kit install side to the window frame. Okay, cool. So then I will be able to do that because the frame is uncovered by the blinds, I think. As long as it's uncovered up here. Yeah, I can make that work. Sweet. Okay. So we'll be able to open and close our blinds, right? And then you use a hairdryer to remove the okay, yeah, and then it's like if you can't install it with the blinds in the way, remove the blinds. I guess that fucking makes sense, but you know, sometimes it's just nice when it's spelled out for you. But we'll definitely do that this winter because my god, it'll save us a lot of grief down here, I think. I think it was the UK that I seen when they were having like the energy crisis, that it was like plastic, like bubble wrap's really good for it too. So if you don't have the money for a special insulation kit, bubble wrap will work very similar. And this is especially good for like windows where you have to be able to like open and close them. I will have to do this on a day where like there's no buildup of water on my, so like before it gets really cold I'll have to do the installation so that we don't get mold build up behind the plastic, hopefully. Okay, we're into the multicolor zippers, which means that we're like a good third of the way through, and by the time we're done multicolored zippers, we should be about 50%. Should be good. 50 to 60%, I guess. Given that there was like 20 of the multicolored zipper ones rather than the zipper tape guys. That's what I'm basing these estimations off of. And yes, I know, crazy to be thinking about winter preparations now. But unfortunately for us, it is coming. And honestly, the way that this summer has gone, I am now not, like, we've had extremely mild transitions into winter. Or it's been a mild winter and then suddenly it's like, all right, and now the minus 30, 35, 40. So it's been pretty harsh transitions into winter. But like up until the point that it decides to be winter, it's been pretty mild. I don't think we're having that this year. I will not be surprised if we have a significant amount of snow on the ground by Halloween this year. So, yay. Yeah. Blah. Blah. Mostly because we also had like a lot of fog in the summer, and there's always the like old wives' tale that it's like, all right, 90 days after a fog, you're going to end up with snow. Now that's not true all the time anymore. But it's still like a good rule of thumb. So it's like definitely by, I think, the beginning of December, we'll have quite a bit of snow probably. I guess we'll see. It's probably going to be like a really nice year to go to Japan actually, because Japan will be chilly, but it's not going to be frigid. It will be a different cold from here because it'll be wet, blah, 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 blah. But, we won't also have to put on 6 billion layers on each of the children before we leave the house, only to just transfer into another warmer space or warm space and have to remove 6 billion layers off each child. We won't have to do 45 minutes of dressing for each child before we go outside for 2 minutes. That's the annoying one. I know they're tiny. They're still very young, but it's like, come on, guys. You gotta go outside. Yes, you have to have 6 billion layers. I know. It sucks. I hate winter too. Oh well. I am not a good example of winter warrior. Ugh. Absolutely despise winter. That is one thing that's like, I understand that the climate I live in is supposed to be doing the climate things that it is doing, i.e. the cold. But it's like, it was such a relief when I was in Japan and we had an extremely mild winter. I was like, what is this? It was glorious. Because it's like, when it's not raining, it's still above 0 most days and all of that. Like, at least in Kyoto here, and Osaka. So. And honestly, if we go back in 27 and we go down south to the Nagasaki Kyushu area, it's just going to be even milder. It'll actually probably be like semi-tropical for us because it is significantly farther south. Realize the other thing I need to do is I want to book a massage post Knit City, because between the sewing and the drive, I will be beat up to shit. So I should do that. So I'm in the schedule. It was intense last time, so I know my shoulders are always really tight, but like my hip flexors have also been really tight. Surprise, I'm a runner, right? Probably got weak hip flexors, so they're always tight. But the massage therapist massaged them, and then but it was like this portion of it. It was like the quad portion of the hip flexor, which was wild, and it like left bruises. That's how tight it was. I'm like, whoa, because I like look down and there's these like almost like done bruises, like the 2 to 3 day old bruises. I'm like, where the hell did those come from? And then I remembered that she had done like a massive release on that hip flexor. And it's been vastly improved since. So, I guess it's time to go exercise my hip flexors. Actually, that is something I'm going to go do on Monday, is go do my leg workout again on Monday. I have not been diligent about that this week, but I'm chalking that up to we are in transition on school and it's Knit City month. So 1 day a week for legs, even if that's all I do, is better than no days a week for legs. So now I need to call the dealership and find out if they can do tires. Okay, I am actually going to call about the tires right now, so I'm going to put you on BRB simply because if they can't do the tires, I have to make a tire appointment. So be right back. Boom. right, I realized as I went to like mute the mic to go upstairs to see my sister-in-law that I actually hadn't unmuted it. So if you were joining me before this, I was all excited because I was getting some good clean out from the feed dogs and everything like that. So I got the plate tightened back down while we had a bit of a snack. But also just so you didn't have to listen to me swear about it, because yeah, damn feed dog. I say as I start to swear again. Excellent, we're off to a good start today. Anyway, we are swapping out the needle because, as I mentioned right before, I was finding that the other one, which has definitely been in the machine for more than 8 hours, it is generally suggested to swap your needle every 8 hours. I don't know of anyone who actually follows that rule, but that is the general guidance. Anyway, but the needle was starting to drag, and if you've sewn, you know what I mean. Yeah. Anyway, and when I did actually get it pulled out, it did have like the little a wear hook basically down on the bottom. So, all right, off to the races. Oh, nope, Katie, thread the fucking needle, Katie. Excellent way to start the day. Oh my goodness, it's not even the start of the day. We're like mid-afternoon right now. Apparently, I should have also finished my coffee while I was like on my break. Oh, yeah, okay. I'm like, why is that song stuck in my head? But it's because who comes to my house normally? So it's like, yeah, she was about to leave, and I was like, I was on stream, so it takes me a minute to get upstairs. It's also like, part of it is validating that it's worthwhile going upstairs. Right? Like, is it worth pausing the stream and going up? Because if it was a courier or anyone else pretty much, or a solicitor especially, it's not like that's worth me going up for. Unless it's something I know I have to sign for, I guess, with a courier. But we don't have any parcels coming right now, so. And the last few that I've gotten have just been like storage drop, or step drops, so whatever. Oh yeah, that's way smoother. Way smoother. Anyway, we've got like 2 hours left. I'm not dragging anywhere near as bad as yesterday, so thank goodness for that. Coming up on halfway through the bags, so that's exciting. And then we're not going to go into top stitching. We're going to go in and do tote bag zippers, and I'm going to work on getting the Kato clipped in the next couple days, so that then when we go to top stitch, we can just top stitch everything. Because then next week I can go in, hopefully we'll just finish everything as part of it. But then next week we can go in and we can select mini traveler sling fabrics. I've like been squirreling stuff away so that we can do triangle pouches and mini travelers. And we also need to do some cake cozies, and we need to finish the needle stashers. La, 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 la. I was going to try and get some other new products ready for Knit City. We're just, no, not worth the stress right now, because all the new products that I want to get done, the only one that would be able to get done right now is the backpack. So I might go get supplies to do that at least, because realistically I only want to do 6 total that are not samples. And they were about 2 hours a piece, sewing wise, and that was on the prototypes. So I'm like, I'm pretty sure it'll be faster this time around. Mostly because I really did mess up the prototypes. The timing ones, of course, because of course I would. So I think the non-prototype ones, in theory, should be faster. Maybe, please. But I do need some extra webbing for that, because the shoulder straps need to be a different webbing for sure. So they solidified my decision that I want a cylinder arm machine within the next like 12 months. Because my goodness, trying to top stitch the circular with it being so much stiffer because of the foam is intense. So now I just gotta decide. It's like, do I go cheap? Because there's a lot of Juki clones. I can go like cheap, or I could go a step above. It's still a Juki clone, but I think it'd be better backed. It's also been like, it's cloned by a company is Canadian owned and has been around for like 40 years. And it's like, it's a minimal amount in like pricing, I guess. My big concern about going with like a clone versus the OG, like a Juki, is just like, will the company last for the length of my sewing career, so that if I need pieces and stuff like that, I'll be able to get them? Or is this going to be a case of like, I don't think the second option is going to go out of business in the next 20 to 30 years sort of thing. I don't know how long I'll be sewing, I guess would be the best description of that decision. But like, if they do go out of business in the next like 10 and I suddenly need parts, that suddenly becomes a lot worse. But a Juki, I know, will be like, the company's already been around for I think 80 years, and so I'm pretty sure it's going to continue to be around. The one I'm thinking of out of Montreal feels a little bit more like a family business, but I don't know, maybe it's not. And I've definitely seen older tech sew machines around, so they're obviously still really good quality. I don't know. I could technically pick one up when I'm in Vancouver. There is a sale spot. Actually, I should go test one in Vancouver. Wonder if I could test it. I should email them and be like, hey, I'm going to be out for a show. Can I come test this? Let's see if it's like actually what I need for the business. But anyway, I was gonna make a little bit of fun of them for it, because it's like, you can buy from us, but it will cost you more to pick up from our studio than it does to ship it. What? Like $80 more. But I guess I could go test it and then like order it, I guess. It's not like in the cards right now anyway, but yeah, testing it would still be a good option. The final valid option is buying a secondhand Juki. But the cylinder arms for the Juki are like few and far between. And I've like looked at the FAF. The FAF are more expensive than the Juki, and like, I don't know. And again, if you've been watching for a while, you know, I keep meandering about this and trying to decide and like freaking out about the expense and blah, 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 blah. I have a number in my head for Knit City. I want to match what I did last time I was there and beat it. Which would be substantial if I did, but that's Japan. That's what's paying for flights and fabrics and Natsumi for the charms that I'm going to buy from her, because that's not a small order. It's a really big order. It's actually like, I think I added everything up, and the order from her was going to be nearly the same amount as all of the fabric I was purchasing. So, or all the fabric I typically purchase while I'm in Japan. Hey. But, yeah. The other thing is I still have to make sure that adding a machine is like something that, I guess at the same time, it's like, well, there's probably a fairly high resale demand for them, because they do not come up for sale in this area very often. Like, I haven't seen one up for sale in Calgary at all in the last, 6 to 9 months. You see these guys like consistently, the flatbed guys. But I don't know. We'll meander around this question for a while longer, unless I come into like some sort of inheritance or something like that, I guess. And I don't really want to do that because that feels skeezy and terrible. Actually, that's something I keep watching for, is like if my parents' place comes up for sale in the next little bit, because I am estranged from my parents, but I got a call from my brother at the end of January that my dad had passed away. And then my brother showed up at my in-laws' place in June with 11 bins of my stuff, toys, and etc. Coolest part of that was that there was actually some photos of me from preschool. And if you look at it one way, there's one of my children. And if you look at it the other way, like squint one eyeball, you get me, and you squint the other eyeball and you get, like, they're both my children, for sure. Which is kind of cool to see. But, like, it's not some of the other important stuff. Anyway, that's how I found out that my mom's downsizing. So I'm just curious if they ever, like, actually list the place, or if it's, like, downsizing and my brother's getting it, or what. Morbid curiosity. I don't really care. I don't want the property. But morbid curiosity. You're like, Katie, it sounds like you care. I don't. And that is the last I will speak on the matter. But I am curious. Especially because the property value in that area has also, like, for the amount of property that they have, and the house on the land is shitty. Or at least it was when I was there last. It would need a lot of work again. But it's like, it's 25 acres. I think there's a potential for a well somewhere as well. They're on cistern, so that is one of the drawbacks. Absolutely spectacular mountain views, and in the ALR, which is the agricultural land reserve, which means that if you were to do anything agriculturally, like anything agricultural, you would get extremely reduced property taxes, basically. Like, extremely reduced. I think minimal. Basically, just enough to say, yes, we're still alive, sort of taxes. It's insane. Hi, we're into Navy zippers, Navy zippers, Navy zippers, Navy zippers. So that means that we're about or just over halfway. Woohoo! Up. In. bobbin is wound. I think we should get through all these zippers on this like the remainder of these zippers on this bobbin. Probably start the tote bag zippers on this bobbin. Yeah, and then we can we'll get the Kato to smash together point by clipping at some point. I don't know if that's not going to happen on stream right now. It might happen tonight. I am going to try my best to get on tonight, especially knowing that I can like sleep tomorrow a little bit more. That helps. We still have to be out of the house, but we don't have to be out at like 7:30 basically, which is amazing. Yay! There's a lot of good fabrics coming with me to Vancouver. A lot of good fabrics coming with me to Vancouver. To Vancouver. A lot of good fabrics. There's always a lot of good fabrics coming with me to Vancouver, but like, yeah, the last couple of trips have like definitely spawned a lot of really good fabrics, which is awesome. No, it's trying to fall on my feet. That's not good. You don't want to fall it on the pedal. Okay, over that way. Convince them to go that way a little bit. Yeah, there we go. Which tells me that we're definitely over halfway because we didn't really hit that at all yesterday. So, okay. Well, yeah, we're definitely over halfway now because once we hit the black and navy, that was like less than half because we have 100 bags. And you'd be like, why are you so obsessed with this? Because it's a lot of bags. It's a lot of bags, guys. Too many bags, probably. We'll survive. But it's too many. I guess our teachers aren't on strike, actually. Just realized, I wonder what happened, because they were calling for strike across everything this Friday, which, again, don't blame them for. I wonder, though, if it does impact our, well, it won't impact our school care, but I wonder if it impacts kindergarten or not, actually, now that I think of it. I don't think they're part of the, they follow, like, the school board in this area, but I don't think they're officially part of the school board, if that makes sense. It's like private public kindergarten or something. I don't know what it's classed as, actually. We ended up there because they are able to transfer a lot of the aspects of the preschool and with like before and after care as well and everything like that. Just being able to stay at the preschool is amazing. Okay, finish my coffee. Finish my coffee. And then if I don't do this, I'm going to lose my mind. We're just going to do a count, but we'll do a folding count so that these are just ready to go under the machine, because this has to happen with them all anyway, so we may as well fold. No, just keep going, Katie, because the only way to get them done is by sewing them. So may as well just Keep on sewing, keep on sewing, keep on sewing, sewing, sewing. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. They all came up together. 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, and 34. So we are literally exactly at a third left. 34. 2/3 sewn. Okay. Yay. And it's been an hour and a half. So yeah, about, I guess it's going to be a little bit longer than I anticipated, but that's okay. 45 minutes each, so about 2¼ hours to get 100 zippers in. I think that's pretty good, especially considering we have been a little bit disrupted today. When am I not disrupted is an excellent question. I can't tell you. Unlike Elise Myers, I can't tell you. Oh God. Okay, so that's 67. 68. Yeah, so basically I'll finish sewing these and then I'm going to pull them all out. We're not going to trim them apart. Actually, yeah, that's something I'll do in the morning. I'll go outside with the kids. Yeah, there we go. That's what we can do tomorrow. So I'll sew everything up, throw it back in the bin with all their handles that we have on top here with the progress table. That's where the laptop is sitting, is the progress table. Just so it clears up. And then we'll work on trimming them apart and getting the Kato clipped together tomorrow, as well as hopefully getting the tote bags to the point of like just having to do their sides. That's kind of what I'm hoping to get, like their zippers in today as well. Everything's going smooth, knock on wood, all that good stuff. So, because what time is it? It's almost 3. We'll definitely get all these in. We can we'll probably start on the, we'll be able to start on the tote bags at least. I think we'll start on the tote bags that have like closed end zippers just because that's mentally easier. Not that the zipper tape takes, I guess, a lot of mental energy, but it's just easier. Just go with stuff that's easier. Also because I keep rolling over them, so let's get them out from under my wheel so I can actually move my chair around properly. Thank you. And yes, eventually I will actually do the goddamn snaps on the those things. And we also have a whole stack of bookmarks, but the bookmarks do kind of need to have their interfacing like adhered on some of them. So those might end up just having to wait until after we pick out mini travelers and when we interface those. No, I don't need to be humming Disney. Doom, 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 doom. Da, 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 da. I also need to find like a body measuring tape because I need to measure both my children for like hand knits and sewing patterns actually. And they have both like just sprouted this summer. They're so much taller. Like the youngest I think has grown at least 1.5 to 2 inches. And the eldest has grown like 1 inch to 1.5 inches, which is like just insane to me. They're massive now. So. Here, stop. No more stitches, no more stitches. La 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 la, no more stitches. Strawberries as a backpack would look fucking amazing. Ooh. Especially this nice dark like navy. Actually, I wonder if where I'm buying the wax canvas has navy. I can't remember if we got navy or not. I think we might have. And I'm just thinking about it because I don't like how this snap hook and like front webbing really came out on the backpack. But I also do like absolutely despise the feeling of like metal buckles. The like the plastic buckles you normally get on backpacks, but they're metal version, and I just, ugh, they make my skin crawl. Anyway, personal differences, I guess. But I'm wondering if I want to switch maybe over to that kind of buckle release. I feel like the snap hook is more accessible, maybe, but like it does not look as tidy as a simple buckle would. But I'm like wondering if having a plastic buckle on the front would kind of cheapen the look of the backpack. In which case I would need metal buckles. I'm just like, ugh. Everything else looks really good. But yeah, I'm not pleased with how floppy the snap hook is. So the other portion is I could maybe just like shorten the strap that is actually used for the snap hook, maybe. That might be a good idea. I don't know. Or like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I think honestly, maybe just shortening the strap for the strap hook here. I'm going to show you because you're probably like, what the fuck are you talking about, Katie? Anyway. So it's like, it's fine if this is fully like tightened down, this. But I guess the other nice thing is that then you do have the option of being able to like adjust this if you have more in the pack. But like as soon as you loosen that, it's all like floopy and gross. I don't like that personally. But I guess, yeah, if you're stuffing the backpack full of books and everything like that, you need that. And realistically, it should be sturdy enough to pack that. I just wish there was a way for this to look more elegant when it's like fully tightened down, because this is not it. I guess when I'm displaying them at show, because here's the other portion of this, is it has to look good when I'm photographing it and displaying it at shows. So I guess what I'd have to do is maybe do a like, I'm gonna have to stuff them pretty good, because like it does look better when it's like that. And I guess once you actually add stuff, oh, let's do it, whatever. Because I do, so this, why I'm having the mental exercise with these right now while I'm doing small box bags is I do want to have some backpacks at Knit City. So I guess if you do actually add anything in there, it needs to actually be expandable. Okay. Cool. And then, yeah, I gotta add, I still need to put the drawstrings in. But yeah, so that's why. Oh, I guess it moves up and down. That does look better then. Doesn't look quite as floopy. And I guess if you add something on top there, it's going to be the same thing then. Oh, do I have another? Come along with me on these thought exercises so I can distract myself from the fact that I'm bored sewing small box bags. I still want all the small box bags, but that does not mean that I'm not bored. I don't even know why I'm bored. I shouldn't be, but whatever. Okay. Apparently these elastic spools are a good thing. What about the black thread? White thread. Another one. 3, 4 white threads. All right. So we can fit 2 spools of elastic and a thing of white thread. And there we go, that does look better. So yeah, if you actually had your books and stuff in there, then that would look fine. Or whatever you're carrying in a backpack, I guess. It's all like lumpy. Although it does drop it. Okay, so what happens though? Okay, yeah. And it's easy to adjust, I guess. It is a look. I feel like it doesn't, I think, oh, she was sneaky. I don't think she actually has an example of the snap hook front closure. I think she only uses the metal buckle. But like I said, I can't personally stand the feeling of that. I don't, it's just a me thing probably, but yeah, she only shows it with the front metal buckle. Oh, and she's clever. She tucks the little, so she does on the mini, but what she does is it looks like this no matter what. But what she does when she's doing her photographs is she tucks this tail underneath the backpack. So yeah, so there's the snap hook one with the mini, but then when she's like photographing it, she tucks that webbing tail under the bag, concealing it, because it looks like the metal buckle would have the same tail. So I would have the same issue personally with it. So my option would be is I could shorten this, because honestly, you don't need that much. Unless I guess you're like filling this to absolute capacity. Like how much more? This thing I guess could hold as much as that would allow, basically. Interesting. It's the only thing I don't like about this design. But like, yeah, I don't think there's any way around it either. Blech. Okay, well, then we'll just go with the instructions that I have been provided and not modify the pattern, because she obviously knew what she was doing, or she decided on that very specifically. So whatever. We'll just suck it up as a design feature. That's fine. It's not my design. And I'm not going to design a backpack. And everything else is extremely pleasing about it. So, suck it up, buttercups. Okay, you lay that way. Oh, you're right. You're not in there because you don't fit. That's right. That spool does not fit. Okay. There, now that I've mauled the backpack. So there'll be a drawstring here that'll pull it in as well. It's not going to pull it in super tight because of the foam. I need to actually find the foam so that we can make a few more. And yeah, we need to add the drawstrings into this. Okay, well, nothing to be done about it. Well, that's aesthetically, well, that's not bad. If it's like, so as it, because of course it's got weight on it from the buckle and, or the tri-glide and stuff like that. So that's aesthetically pleasing. Okay, I'm happier now. All right, rant over. Back to zippers. I'm almost done too. I don't know why I got so distracted. Well, I know why I got so distracted by that right then. So I'll make sure that we've got supplies to make everything, I guess. Yeah, because if I'm not making any mods, that's actually easier too. Could still make it a few inches shorter or a couple inches shorter, which I might still do, but hopefully, no, I'm going to talk myself out of that, and we're just going to produce the backpack as per pattern. I'm going to select 4 to 6 fabrics, and we are going to sew 4 to 6 backpacks for Knit City. If I sew 4, that's approximately 1 day's worth of, like, full day's worth of work. Sewing-ish. I do have some cool interior fabrics from the shirts, so that'll make some good pockets for them at least. They're nearly all folded and put away, thankfully. I just have to decide on the fabrics that I actually want to use, because then there's that too. Actually, I should decide on the fabrics and see if I need to go get some more waxed canvas while I'm at it. Ooh, I know what we're going to do. We're going to do 4 cotton linen blends and 2, maybe 4. See, this is how this happens. Obi, because the mini actually is perfect for the Obi fabric. like the right cut size and everything for it, and that would be fucking amazing. Dun, 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 dun. I need to figure out a way though to waterproof the obi. That is one thing, is I don't have like any waterproofing on any of these bags yet. Look at it, be something from Japan probably. Look at it, be really hard to get in Canada. Fuck. That would be the way of it. Like there is like Scotch Guard and stuff like that. That might work, but I don't know. I don't know. I'll figure it out, I guess. I'll figure it out. The stream is struggling today. Interesting. Okay, so it went from like frigid this morning to actually warm this afternoon, and I can feel it starting to like beam in on my face. No! I just got back into long pants. And I'm actually gonna close that blind because that will help quite a bit. There we go. Also help with the glare on the table. It is cool enough to leave my windows open though, which is amazing. You're like, la 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 la, I'm watching out the open window and love and life. Watching out the open window and loving life. Oh my goodness, I can see the bottom. Oh my goodness, I can see the bottom. Fuck yeah, we can see the bottom. Fuck yeah, we can see the bottom. Dun 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 dun. 2 more. 2 more. Then all the small box bag zippers are done. Oh, actually no, because we got the dog bag. We gotta repair or like finish the one side on and then add this other one on. That's fine. Easy enough to do now. Glad I caught it now, because if it was further along, it probably would have been put in timeout. Oh god. Okay, come on. Fold proper, please. Fold proper, please. Hi ho, there you. Fold proper, please. Fold proper, please. Fold proper, please. Hi ho, there you. Fold proper, please. Dun, dun, dun. Okay. Last one. Last one. Oh no, second last. Pentultimate. All right, and then as promised, these are just all gonna go in the bin. Whee! Because there's no point in trimming them apart right now. No, there's not. No, there's not. None at all. Because we will work. We're not top stitching right now. We're gonna go into tote bag zips. So, come here, my pretties. If you hear any of the popping, it's just the chain stitching being angry because I'm yanking them around the leg of the sewing machine. They're self-trimming. Okay, there's the majority of them. And then, yeah, because these will need to be ironed before we top stitch them. They're not something that I can just like, yeah. So the next step is to get them trimmed, get them ironed, get them top stitched, sort of thing. And then, as I mentioned, the boxing, the cutting of the boxing process has like changed for this round, so for the better. There we go. That should have caught it. It was definitely far off. Yep. Okay. Now this is the last one. Last one. Last one. Last one. Da, 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 da. 2 hours for 100 zippers, half of 100 zippers. Pretty good overall. Okay, I'm gonna pull this up a little bit more. Pull the exterior up because it's this was definitely a generous salvage with the fabric, so that's fine. Go. Whee! And then here. And back and forward and droop and done. Yay, we did it. Yay, we did it. Doom a doom a doom. We did it. Nope. It's just like the grit left. All right. I was thinking what I wanted to do was film dropping the handles onto the actual like into the bin. Can I do that with this setup? No, not very aesthetically. I need to like, I think holding it this way would probably be better. Okay. Because here's the thing, I do want these off the table here. Okay. Zoom, 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 zoom. Doom, 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 doom. And then the rest of it in here is drawstring channels for Kato. All right. Let's see if I can get a somewhat aesthetic reel from this. Not yet, because I got like elastic from sheets that I was trimming up the other day. Woo! Okay. Kinda, maybe. Yeah, good enough. Whatever. It's the thing I resent the most about being a small business is having to be a content creator. It's so dumb. Content creation is a full-time job. Yeah. With a very specific skill set as well and personality that suits it the best too. Like there's multiple factors in this. I don't mind making content if I feel like it, I guess is the best description. It's the whole like you have to make content to be successful right now. That's what annoys me. Oh, that bin basically exploded as soon as I popped it back there. Are we surprised? I'm not surprised. I'm just annoyed. Okay. Whatever. So now I do think we might be in a bit of a conundrum because actually the tote bags. Ah, shit. Yeah. Now, I think if I trim these down in half, because the way we need to do this, it is easier and it's actually better for the tote bag to do a bottom seam as well. So I'm pretty sure if I fold this up, so if I cut it in half now and then cut it in half again, that's not the right measurement. That leaves me with an odd measurement. Okay. Because this is, yeah. So to make this work, I need to go to the cutting table. Shit. It's like, I'm gonna put in zippers today, but none of the linings are done. Woo! We could clip Kato. The cutting table's just a disaster right now, and I don't really want to have to tidy it, but I guess we have to. Never mind. All right, so pick up the stuff that like exploded out of the bin and put it back in the bin because I don't want it all over the floor while I'm working here. I'm going to be working off camera for a few minutes. It's not going to take me long once I get it tidied. It's just the the tidy up is what's going to take the time. It's annoying. I'm annoyed. Just annoyed. That's all. Okay, that is the stuff for the luggage tags and the backpack. That is vinyl for luggage tags as well. This is garbage. That's garbage too. Doom, 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 doom. Okay, and then there's a bunch of lining here we can use for the luggage tags. So I'm just gonna move it. So we'd like to do some luggage tags before. Those are tags with pins we'll use for Knit City. And then honestly, I'm just gonna kind of shove everything back. There we go. Canadian Tire money. Garbage bin can go on the floor. Yay! Woo! Okay. I did print out the mini traveler sling pattern again because I've misplaced some of the instructions. I'm like, really? Like, or cut pieces. So I'm like, damn it, that's annoying. And I think I need to cut out the spring roll pouch again as well. That's part of why we're not going to pursue it too hard. Probably not until, actually, I was like, I'll do them for Shindig, but Shindig's like 2 weeks after Knit City. So it's very likely that I won't even get it done for that either. So I don't quite know when I will launch them. It will be post Knit City now, for sure. I just don't know when post City right now. Post Knit City. It's garbage. Okay. Good. Just shove all of you back too. That's the Traveler Sling info and the spring roll shit. Not shit. pattern pieces. Gotta be careful of that. Dallas does that too, and then it annoys me. All right. And a bunch of little scraps to go in the garbage. 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 All right, there we go. That's good enough. Because as long as one side's empty, I can measure it properly. Or empty enough. Now, if I do this correctly, I should be able to actually, like I can use the electric rotary cutter. I'm not pulling out the electric rotary cutter. Ow, what was that? Something sharp. Also, I need to stop using the quilt board on this because honestly, it's actually warped the cutting table. Whoops. All right, I'm just picking up all the linings. Sorry, like I said, this is all going to kind of happen off camera, but it won't actually take that long. So, or in theory, it shouldn't. I should just be able to take multiple layers and cut them. And I know the measurements for the tote bag off by heart, so that's pretty cool. As long as I can do my math, we're good. And it's pretty straightforward math, to be honest. So, okay, so there's one layer here. Actually, so out of each full cut, I can get 3 bags. So there's one, 2, and then I have to go in and cut the 3rd. Like I said, it is easier to sew and it's better for the tote bag to actually have a bottom seam anyway. It helps like distribute the stress a little bit, like off of the handles and down in, like distributes it nicely across the bottom. So that's why I'm telling myself we're cutting them in half. It's definitely easier to sew. I'm pretty sure last time I said that this is what I was going to do anyway, so. All right, there's one set. I'm going to set up so that we can do 2 sets at a time at least. But that's 3, and I'm pretty sure we have 51 bags. So I think we'll try and cut 54 as long as they are all here. I hope so. Okay. So 3. So this is 9 right now, because each set is 3. We just cut 3. This is 2 more, so that then is 9. 12. I'm going to try and do, let's see, 1, 2, 3. Let's try and do 4 at a time. Actually, no, I should be able to cut up to should be able to do 6 layers. Or 6 sets, because that's 12 layers of fabric. So let's try and do that. So I have 4 layers in there right now. 5. And it's a fairly fresh rotary blade, so it shouldn't be an issue. Fingers crossed. And 6. Okay, so that's 21 right there. Pretty straightforward. Okay, 26. Rotary cutter. Done. Yeah, I can definitely do even probably more layers than what I'm doing right now, which is nice. Okay, so that's 21 done and dusted already. Okay, definitely building this up to be more of a process, and it actually is. Are we surprised? Because I'm not. It's usually my MO. Okay, cut in half. The last, it's like, it's a fold over because it's wide back quilting cotton. So I just have to trim the fold for the last set. Which, yes, technically I could leave open, but again, we're doing a seam at the bottom to help distribute stress a little bit easier in the bag. There we go. Doom, 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 doom. So what did I say? That's 21 there, and I want 54. So I wonder if I could do 11. Yes, I think I could. Let's try and do 11 layers. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to line them. No, it worked well to line them up as I got them on. It's 21. So 24. 27. 27. So that's half what I desire for this. 27, 27, 27, 27, 27, 27. 30 is next. 30 is next. 30. Doom, 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 doom. Doom, 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 doom. Then there's actually one that's cut, so we're just going to throw it in there because, hey, why not? That'll be a spare white fabric. I'm going to pop it up on top of the whip table. Okay, and then there's this guy, which needs to be cut in half, and then that'll be, so that's 53, or, yeah, I lost track where we are. Brains, 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 brains are brain dead right now. Not that bad. That's rude. I was like, what, 45 minutes ago, I was like, fuck yeah, I've got so much energy. And I'm like, spoke too soon. Yay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Actually, that tells me that I might need, no, I just had a snack though. That's 5, right? Yeah. If I cut more, it's no big deal. 5. There's like a crumple in the middle there, so just clearing that out. 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. Five, 6. 7. 8. Now I am counting these as I pick them up. So 8. So we need 3 more. Do you know what? I feel like that's probably thick enough for this rotary cutter. Flynn, what are you doing, sir? Okay, so this is 8, 8, 8, 8. Hey, what you doing? Hey, what you got? 8, 8, 8, 8, 8, 8, 8. Sounds like that apples and bananas song. I like to eat apples and bananas. Yeah, 8 was the limit. I like to eat apples and bananas. I like to eat apples and bananas. Then you go like through the vowels, so it's like I like to eat apples and bananas. I like to eat apples and bananas. I like to oat apples and bananas. I like to oot apples and bananas. Anyway, it's a Sesame Street song. But 888 makes me think of that, apparently. I don't know anymore. I'm just here trying to keep us all entertained. Especially since I'm off screen. 88888888888. Okay, only 3 more. 3 more. Then we'll start sewing, right? What time? Yeah, it's 24 right now. Okay. All right, there is 8 layers, so we need 3 more, and then we are good to go for tote bags. Tote bags. Good to go for tote bags. Tote bags. Tote bags. Almost ready to sew totes. Which, by the way, do not do this with your child to actually carry them. But they are large enough to hold a 4-month-old. I tested that out with my eldest. It was an adorable photo. One and two. Boop-a-doo. Okay. And these other pieces can go back in the tote bin later. I'm not going to worry about it right now. Now, tote bag handles kind of suck. Not gonna lie. Doing tote bag handles sucks no matter how I do it. So, what I did do last time seemed to work decently well, so that's what we'll try this time too. Mainly being tote bags, tote bags, tote bags. Come on, Katie. Totes. Totes, my goats. Actually, I don't know if they'd tote a goat. That's why I mentioned the 4-month-old. It might tote a goat if it was small enough. Maybe baby goats. Okay. It is now in position to do tote bag zipper installation things. So we'll do one side at a time. And from what I remember from last time, this is one of the few bags I have to do pins on still. Damn pins. Still having a use. And then I think what I have to do is, oh, it might be easier to do this on the cutting table too. Shit. Is it? Yeah, I think it's easier to do on the cutting table. All right, that's okay. Standing, it's not gonna hurt me. We're gonna swivel and swoop, and then we'll turn the camera maybe. Come on. I know you can do it. You can do like practically vertical. There. Haha. And then basically the same view. Hi, there's my head. Welcome to my head. Don't pull the thread. Okay. Turn it off, turn it off, turn the machine off. On. And we're going to work for 45 minutes-ish. Just under 45 minutes. I know I said this yesterday in that I was going to like power nap and then I'd be on last night, but I am actually still going to go for a power nap today. I'm like I said, I was like, fuck, I've got so much energy. And now I'm like, oh. Yeah, this works particularly well for the zippers that are closed-in zippers, which you can't see right now. But it does actually also work for, it doesn't work as well for the zipper tape. But what we'll do for the zipper tape instead is we'll just pin the webbing on and then the zipper tape basically just runs. So anyway, it'll make more sense here in a moment. I need this. Oh shit. Where is my... Actually, I think last time we measured with the... Did I? Or did I? Oh, I might have done it with the... That's right. That's part of what actually made this easier as well. So I only really need to measure one side because the other side will have to be done afterwards, and its webbing gets determined by the first's webbing. What I'm thinking is that I probably measured it with the quilt ruler, which if I put this way, I can actually like, yep. And then what I can do is we'll end up putting, right. Okay, so put it this way, measure the top, measure the top, measure the top, dum, dum. And then I can pop it. Okay, so we've got that. And I typically put it at about here and that height. In this case though, I usually measure it from the zipper teeth. So this is where it's a little bit trickier than it was before. But usually I measure it from the zipper teeth. So now today, and we can sew this way, so put the pin in here. And I'll put those in a little bit more stably once we actually get the zipper on, because the zipper goes on top of the webbing. Make sure that the webbing is not twisted as best as I can. Half inch above the fabric. Okay, and actually, rather than pinning where I'm going to put the zipper, let's pin down on the bag itself, like right there. And right here, guaranteeing that I will poke myself no matter which way I sew this thing. Okay, and then what'll end up happening is this goes across the top like right here. And that looks like that is actually the correct amount of webbing out of the top. Damn close. As long as it matches on both sides, I don't actually care. And then now I could clip this, or honestly we can just go in and sew it. So we could, yeah, let's just pin the webbing in place. And then we'll clip the, yeah, pin the webbing in place, and then we'll clip everything back together so that it will, along with its lining. Doop. Doop. So that it's ready to go as well. Our whole little tote bag package. Oh, that's why I'm so tired. I think the intervals caught up to me. That's what happened. That's what I'm going to blame it on, because I did go to bed at a good time last night. I don't get it. Okay, whatever. Actually, in that case, let's just pin both sides of the webbing, and then we're just ready to go for both sides. So, okay. Yeah, that works. Okay, from this edge to this edge. And then no mathing required, please. Shit right here, that's like in the way. There we go. how much work the webbing is for the tote bags. Damn it. Okay, go through both sides. Thank you. So one done. This is an important step though, because you want these to match, or else like having tote bag handles that aren't the same height is not good. So that's why I'm generally pretty meticulous about my tote bag handles, because I would be extremely annoyed myself if my tote bag handles did not match in height. Obviously, it may not be absolutely perfect, but it's going to be closer than if I were just to wing it as well. And I'm mostly talking about like so that the height of them matches. Although I am also pretty meticulous about where they actually get placed on the bag so that they look correct. Now this is something that I do normally do. So typically what I would do is I just lay them out and match them. Which actually is what we're going to do with the next one, so that we only have to meticulously, like, see, these need to match. It doesn't matter so much if they don't match between bags, but the bag, it needs to match itself. So let's just make sure that that is actually what happened, because you will notice this at the top. Yeah, we're good actually. Okay, good. So there's the zip and the interior. And I'm just going to fold the package up so that I can just pop it down here. Okay. Next, little black cats with wisteria. Wisteria cats, very, very pretty. Wisteria cats, very pretty kitties. Wisteria cats, very, very nice. Okay. Wisteria cats, da-na-na-na-na. Wisteria cats, da-na-na-na-na. Wisteria cats, da-na-na-na-na. So this is like pink and purple wisteria, and they're on a navy background with the little black cat, little sassy cat, there as well. So what I'm measuring is I'm measuring to make sure that they're like a comparable distance from the edges, and then that they are at the correct height as well, as previously mentioned. These are actually a bit too wide. Actually, that's better. That's usually where they're placed. So that's at the right height. There we go. now what we're going to do on this side is that's what we're doing on this side. Actually, what it needs to be done is flipped there. And then because they're going to be both like opposite sides, make sure that we're lined up here properly. There we go. Doom, 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 doom. Do 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 dun 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 dun. Okay. Work a little bit further this way, just so I don't have to like. Don't keep running into everything over there. Go. Okay, now I'm going to flip this again so that we get our other side done comparably. Ah, that was a good poke. Damn it. Okay, next. Next might just be nap time. Da, 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 All right, folks, this is at the point where I just kind of have to lock in and do it. So I am actually going to sign off for now. And I'm very sorry. I have no guarantees if I'll be on tonight or not. But if you watch my Instagram or if you hit the bell icon on YouTube, that will actually tell you either way if I'm online or not. I hope you guys all have a fantastic day wherever, whenever you are, and I'll chat with y'all